So people kind of wonder what we do in the off season. You know what? Our off season, we don't have one. Literally, we don't have an off season.
We're out here, it's the end of January, and we're already thinking ahead towards September, October, November of next year. Just put this muddy penthouse up behind me right here, right as the sun's setting. It's really pretty out tonight, real calm and clear and cold. We're getting these blinds in here, giving them time to get used to them. And we're putting these blinds in spots where we've watched those reconic cell cams the last couple of years, and these deer are really frequenting these areas. So got 3 blinds in here, getting after it here. Deer season fall of 22 is gonna be here before we know it, so got a lot of work to do. Well, out here it's the end of March, doing a little bit of controlled burning. Got this on fire behind me. We're gonna light off this last little section we got. Burned probably 30 acres today. And these are all warm season grasses. We let it green up just a little bit. It kills off some of that fescue grass and those grasses we don't want. Then we get a little bit of rain on it, a little bit of warmth that allows those warm seasons to explode. They've really come on the last few years. We burn it every year. And the deer absolutely love it. Turkeys love it when it's burned in the spring. And it's going off without a hitch today.
Well, kind of an average day, I guess you'd say. You know, we hunted turkeys early this morning and really no luck there. Then we got a load of seed and chemical. Perry came over to get Mark's stuff, and I guess now we got to get ready. We got to get cleaned up because we're going to go to town.
Yeah, I finally get to feed me.
Oh, now you want to eat?
No, turkey hunting sucked, but getting ready for deer season, that's kind of always the goal.
Yeah, the irony of it is we never stop deer hunting, period. I mean, that's the irony. We're moving a blind 15 yards. So even though we're turkey hunting, we never lose sight of trying to harvest a big deer. And Mark kills enough turkeys, we don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's time for dinner, though.
Oh, now you want to eat. I know there's a couple other items we could do yet this evening, but I guess you want to eat.
Is there anything you guys want to say to Mark?
Sorry about your truck.
Sometimes things happen. Fortunately, this is not my truck, this is Mark's truck. So we have to apologize to Brother Mark and tell him we're sorry. It just happened very, very quickly. Unfortunately, the skid steer, the hydraulics on that thing are a little touchy. And when they got a load on like that, it's not the easiest to maneuver and manipulate. So we owe Brother Mark a huge apology. And maybe dinner somewhere, I don't know. Should buff out.
Well, out here today working on putting some of these spring food plots in, and we're kind of changing our strategy up a little bit. We're putting in a lot more clover this year, so using that RTP groundbreaker, putting in a host crop of oats, and then going behind and hand seeding non-typical clover onto it. So got this muddy blind here. This is a really, really sweet spot. So we put about a half-acre clover plot in here. Hopefully it comes in good. We got Terry's mom, Miss Lucille, coming back this fall. So hopefully this is one of the spots we're hoping to bring her and get a big old buck early season there while it's nice and warm. Those deer love that non-typical clover. So it's gonna be really sweet. Got the clover here going out to the beans, and it's gonna be a really, really sweet spot come September.
DeerCast is now supercharged with maps. Get ahead of your game with killer new features like live Doppler radar, wind check out to 5 days, virtual rain gauges, GPS path tracking, and more. Plus, get our 14-day revolutionary DeerCast prediction and access to DeerCast Track. Prep, predict, and pursue with DeerCast.
You know, we've had a lot of rain this spring, so we're trying to keep everything mowed up, trimmed up. We've been doing a lot of spraying. Forrest is trying to keep the weeds down best he can in the corn and beans. And we have planted this field twice now with soybeans, and it's been desecrated. I mean, they're gone. There's hardly a bean left. So hopefully this second planting may have an effect. One of the things that we've done, and we call this, you know, it's a chess match. And when you have a deer in your craw and you try and harvest him, or you pass him and you say, you know what, next year let's see what he blows into, you go through a little extra effort. One of the things that we've done is we've got a tree stand right here that is trimmed. Forrest came in and trimmed it. Forrest is in the back tree, I'm in the front tree. It's set up for a lefty, obviously. I'm left-handed, he's right-handed. But we've got a deer that we were watching come in and out of this little bitty lane right here. We have a camera down there, and we had quite a few pictures of him last year. He was a biologic hog. We had this planted in biologic, and he was on it pretty regular. He's one that we're gonna be after this year. So what did we do? We went through a little bit of extra effort. We moved the tree stand, used to be right here. We moved it forward about 10 yards, okay? To make sure when they came out of this timber, they were almost within bow range. You know, people wonder each and every year how you kill mature deer consistently. Well, the best hunters that I know, and Brother Mark's included in one of those lists, I guess, Lee Lukoski and Don Kiske and some of those guys that are notorious for killing big deer each and every year, they're aggressive. They don't sit on their heels, you know, in the off season. They're out there trying to figure out how to kill that big deer all summer long. That's exactly what we're doing here. This little water hole, these were the openings from where the legs were on that blind. So we moved that blind 45 to 50 foot forward. Now, does that seem like a lot? No, it doesn't, but it also puts us almost within bow range if those deer skirt past that tree stand and they're on this field. Now we're gonna get something to grow here, I don't know what, but the other measure that we're gonna go through, we're gonna put electric fence up, and I will tell you why. They've desecrated those beans, literally have eaten them all. And now we're gonna come back, I guess here, maybe in August, we'll be planting biologic. But for the meantime, we're gonna try and keep them off the corn, because I definitely want some corn here as well. But it's about being aggressive. We moved the tree stand forward to try and catch him when he comes out that trail. We moved the blind forward right here, 45 to 50 feet, just in case we get him on the field here and he wants to skirt past the tree stand on a regular basis. The Reconyx cameras will give us that information as where we need to sit. We're gonna sit it on the right wind. Obviously, we'll be using DeerCast, we'll be using wind check and the movement predictor. But we have one deer, and I'm not gonna say his name to protect his identity, obviously, because we're after him, but he was coming out onto this field with regularity. He was a biologic hog, so we're gonna do whatever we have to do to get biologic to grow here this summer, or in August, September, and October. But in the meantime, we're gonna fence a bunch of this just to try and make sure we got a crop for later on, because when they eat it down now, you know, the only thing you can do is plant something in the fall, but I'd like to have some of this corn here come fall that we can hunt over, you know? So we're gonna go through some extra steps, extra measures, and we do that each and every year. Forrest has been doing some electric fencing on some of the big destination spots that we need to have some food source there. So this is another one that we're gonna add to the list. So we're going to start right here, and we're gonna build a kind of an L-shaped electric fence. It's gonna divide right down through here, and then we're gonna come beyond the corn, all the way back to where the blind used to sit, come over to this eastern edge, go right up, and have one big, nice L shape of corn and beans. This will be in corn, that's in beans. Then this fall, we're gonna flip-flop it, we're gonna let them have these beans, and we're going to fence this biologic in. The reason for that is because the deer we're trying to kill was walking out of this corner with regularity. And we had a ton of pictures of him, and he was a big biologic hog. So hopefully this plan will come together. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but the chess match is trying to do what you can as far as stacking the deck best you can, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity to whack him.
Well, out here in the barn this morning, it's July 15th, and it is a gorgeous morning. It's cool. It's spitting a little bit of rain. It's great for those food plots. We got this one food plot we put a ton of time and effort into. Had to replant it there in the beginning of June because the deer absolutely tore it up. but went back in, hot wired at June 10th, and checking the rain station on DeerCast maps since then, we've had 7.88 inches of rain. We're getting a little bit more this morning. Those beans in the hot wire look phenomenal. Outside, the deer haven't browsed down, so we're gonna go back and plant a green plot there at the end of the month, but it's looking really good. Hopefully this fall we'll have a little bit of luck there.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV was brought to you by MOTV. For full episodes of 13 and all of our Outdoor Channel content, head over to the MOTV app and view it today.